Whether Jeremy and the Lioco warriors were battling ominously named evil viruses or simply navigating the pitfalls of high school, Code Lioco struck a chord with audiences of all ages around the world and is still much loved to this day. And we've got all the tidbits you might not have noticed, along with development stories and info on the creators. Hey guys, I'm Brendan with Channel Frederator, and we have probably more information about French teens than you ever knew you wanted. No, really, there's a lot of France in this one, guys. Préparez-vous! The forces of Xana better watch out, because we're counting down 107 facts about Code Lioco. Let's get started. Number 1. Code Lioco is a French animated show that aired for 4 years spanning 2003 to 2007. While it was aired in France on 2 channels, France 3 and Canal J, many American viewers probably recall watching it on Cartoon Network. Number 2. While Code Lioco was on Cartoon Network, the show was featured on the channel's Magoozy block, which replaced Toonami during the weekday afternoons. Number 3. Strangely, the last 7 episodes never aired in the US. Instead, fans could watch them on Cartoon Network's online video service. Unfortunately, not many knew about this and were left without a season finale. Why was the show abruptly taken off? An executive from the company mentioned that he just wasn't a fan of the show himself. This is why we can't have good things! Number 4. The show was actually so internationally distributed that nearly 160 countries aired it. It was even a big success in Japan, which isn't common for a foreign animated show on the island. Number 5. Code Lioco had its origins in an independent student short film from the England School of the Image in Paris, made by Thomas Roman and Tania Palumbo while they were students there. Titled Les Enfants font le cinéma, or The Children Make Their Own Movies. Otherwise known as Les Enfants, the children bear a striking resemblance to the cast in Code Lioco. Number 6. Les Enfants screened at the Annecy Film Festival in 2000 and gave birth to a new project. Antefilm, a French animation studio, noticed the short and reached out to Roman and Palumbo, asking if they would like to work on a new show with the company, Garage Kids. Number 7. Garage Kids had a 5-minute pilot in 2001 and was fully intended to go on as a 26-episode show. Similar to Code Lioco, the main cast, who happened to be the same characters as Code Lioco, fought to save the Earth from inside a virtual world. It also had an overall darker tone. Number 8. But the virtual reality in Garage Kids was not Lioco. Not quite. It went by the name of Xanadu and was created by scientists who were led by an out-of-control professor. Plagued by monsters, Xanadu would create problems in the real world that the kids would have to fight against. Number 9. Xanadu was also much smaller in size. A floating island supported by electric cables, the digital land only had 6 towers, as opposed to Lioco's 41 towers. It's because they upgraded. Number 10. To make up for this, after Xanadu became Lioco, a lot of thought went into redesigning the virtual world as a large place to explore. 4 sectors were added, towers were made smaller, and landscapes were simplified but made more ecologically diverse. Number 11. Many have stated that the 3D animation in Xanadu, while more detailed, wasn't as well rendered as in Code Lioco. Of course, it's important to bear in mind that the pilot wasn't intended for viewing outside of Antefilm. That being said, others mentioned also that the 2D animation seemed smoother. Number 12. Another difference in Garage Kids was that Odd acted as the story's central protagonist. As a transfer student, he discovers that Jeremy, Yumi, and Ulrich are already aware of Xanadu and the troubles it holds. Though he's wary of virtualization, he joins the group and helps save the day. Number 13. The kids also retained their abilities outside of Xanadu. This was shown by Yumi using telekinesis to save Jeremy from a disastrous fall in the Garage Kids pilot. Number 14. Oh, and did we mention? Ulrich's sword was made of binary code. That's pretty cool, but he also had a more spiffy outfit. Number 15. Though we didn't get to see Odd and Yumi's virtual outfits, damn those pull-away silhouettes, concept art suggests that they were the same as what we got in Code Lioco. Well, we mean Yumi did have longer sleeves. Number 16. Because this show was going to follow a linear storyline, the executives decided to scrap Garage Kids and turned it into Code Lioco. Unfortunately, this also meant that they were going to give it a significantly smaller budget. Number 17. Due to all these changes, Roman decided to part from the project. However, he did work with Palumbo on the literary and graphical Bibles, which helped guide Code Lioco's future. Number 18. Palumbo stuck with Code Lioco for all of its 4 animated seasons, acting as the creative director during development. She's also the brain behind many of the character designs. Number 19. Ever said the phrase, "this show feels like French anime"? Well, after co-creator Roman left the show, he worked on Oban Star Racers. Ever since then, he's been working on anime in Japan. In that world, he's most known for designing Space Dandy's ship, the Aloha Oi. Number 20. Regarding those Bibles we talked about, as is often the case, there are many differences between what was planned and what became a reality. For example, Franz Hopper's backstory was originally supposed to feature him as a computer science teacher at the boarding school. One day he stumbled upon the supercomputer instead of creating it. After making Lioko, Aelita, and virtualization, he disappeared mysteriously within the digital world. Number 21. In the Bible, Xana was supposed to be the supercomputer itself instead of just a program. Deactivating towers in Lioko stabilized Xana overall. And in this version, Xana could only affect what happened at the factory and the school. Number 22. As we know it today, Code Lioco officially aired on September 3rd, 2003 in France with Teddy Godzilla. About half a year later, on April 19th, 2004, it aired in the US. Number 23. That's not to say that Garage Kids was entirely dead. To save on costs, 3 pieces of animation were taken directly from the failed pilot, specifically Ulrich, Yumi, and Odd's virtualizations. Number 24. 2 credit stills were also nabbed from the original project. The one where the group sits on a bench, and the one where Odd and Jeremy are pushing Ulrich and Yumi towards each other. Number 25. It shouldn't come as a surprise that the creators and writers all agreed that one of the inspirations behind Code Lioco was Tron. From defeating an evil program, to the high-speed trails, to the visuals of virtualization, if you keep a sharp eye open, you'll definitely notice the similarities. Number 26. Of course, another big influence was The Matrix. Both Aelita and Neo represent the Chosen One, both stories show machines trying to take over man, and both have a similar fighting style. Number 27. Not to mention that the Lioco Warriors boarding school, Kadic Academy, is based on a real-life school in our own world. Lycée Lacanal is located in the Hauts-de-Seine suburb of Paris. Number 28. In fact, the name of the school is a reference to the American sci-fi author Philip K. Dick. That's K. Dick, or when said quickly, Kadic. Number 29. When you're looking at the pictures of the fake and real schools side by side, the reference becomes immediately obvious due to how similar they look. They even have the same trees out front. Number 30. The factory was also based on a real location, though it has been since demolished. Originally, the real-life structure was a Renault production plant located in Boulogne-Billancourt. Number 31. It's also evident that Code Lioco gives quite a few respectful nods to Japanese culture. Yumi's behavior, home, and many visuals, especially in Lioco itself, just help solidify the reason that so many people called this French anime. Number 32. Yumi's first outfit clearly depicts this. She wears a geisha-like kimono, even though the geisha were not warriors. However, her outfit is more of a hybrid of kimono types rather than that of a traditional geisha. Still, her slippers and hair are up to standard. Number 33. Yumi's weapon of choice is also not Japanese. One Asian martial art that uses fans in combat is Pencok Silat. This isn't that surprising since it's also the branch of fighting that both Yumi and Ulrich train with. However, this is an Indonesian sport entirely. Number 34. Yumi's second outfit is a more representational of traditional ninjas, which lends itself better to her super cool style and skills. Number 35. Much like Yumi isn't really a geisha, Ulrich is a false samurai since he only carries one sword instead of 2. The symbol on his back is also influenced by no masks, which were theatrical masks that represented gods and demons. Number 36. Odd designed at least his second outfit and is personally inspired by the video game he loves called Kung Fu Commando. Number 37. Aelita has pink hair because Palumbo had dyed hair herself. It also beckons to the many colorful heads of hair one can find in manga and anime. Maybe she's based off magical girls. Number 38. William Dunbar's outfit is based on the 16th century German mercenary soldiers who took to the front lines in battle for higher payments, otherwise known as the Doppelsoldner. Number 39. The two-handed sword he uses, a Zweihander, is the exact type of weapon these historic figures used. Points for accuracy. Number 40. As one of France's best-known cartoons, Code Lioco was given the Prix de l'Export 2006 award for animation. This award is given to French properties that become internationally acclaimed. Number 41. During its run, its French audience also voted that the show was the best on Canal J, which is a pretty terrific prize in and of itself. Number 42. After 4 seasons, the show went on a 4-year break until its 5th season was released online on December 19th, 2012 in France and February 28th, 2013 on USA TV under the name Code Lioco Evolutions. Xana was back, stronger than before, but there was something different about this reboot. It was live action. While the scenes in Lioco were still 3D animated, the Earth scenes had new, human faces. Number 43. Though the 3D animation was highly improved, it didn't make up for the controversies regarding changes in Code Lioco Evolutions. While fans were a bit bothered by personality tweaks, the revamped outfits in Lioco, and several story changes, the biggest issue came down to casting white actresses for certain characters of color, such as Cece and Samantha. Number 44. Code Lioco Evolutions only lasted for a single season, ending with a cliffhanger on December 19th, 2013 2013 after 26 episodes. That's right, Xana is still out there plotting the world's demise. Gives us shivers. Number 45. Everybody knows that Yumi and Ulrich have a complicated romantic relationship, but it's heartwarming to know that the actors who portrayed them in Code Lyoko Evolutions are actually dating. They have super cute Instagrams together, I'm not lying to you. Number 46. Star Wars fans will get a kick out of this one. If you pay close attention to Jeremy's computer screen, you'll notice some Urabesh letters. What's Urabesh? It's a language that's spoken in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Number 47. This cute Easter egg isn't just a nod to Ghibli, but it also acknowledges Yumi's Japanese heritage. If you look at her bed, you'll notice that she owns a stuffed Totoro plushie. Number 48. While many believe that Franz Hopper's name was a reference to the influential computer scientist Grace Hopper, the writer stated that this was only a coincidence. But a good one at least. Number 49. Many fans know about Pick on Yumi Week, which consisted of episodes 6 through 10 in season 1, where Yumi is consistently the victim of attacks. What do you got against Yumi, Xana? She's the cool one. She does have a big forehead, I'll give you that. Number 50. In the English voice cast, Odd and William are the only Lyoko warriors that have male actors. In French, a woman voices Odd as well, making William the only warrior with a male voice actor through and through. Number 51. Because Odd's voice was extremely high-pitched in the French version, a number of French fans were convinced that he was actually a girl. This included Gulliver Bevernage, who is a huge fan of the show and actually went on to play Odd in Evolutions. Probably pretty happy to be wrong. Number 52. There was almost an MMORPG based on the show called Code Lyoko Online. It was going to be developed by CJ Internet Studios and would have included 3D graphics and a full combat system. Number 53. Moonscoop announced the project in 2008 as part of Code Lyoko Reloaded, a culmination of projects that would continue the franchise after the 4th season. The company later solidified the idea of an MMO in 2010 after releasing first drafts displaying progress on the game. Number 54. CJ Internet created the group N-Flute to work on the game. However, design started to go in a direction away from Code Lyoko's original look, giving it a more Korean influence. Number 55. Eventually, the game was cancelled in December 2012, bankrupting N-Flute. Many fans, after seeing the drastic changes made to Aelita in the game, are happy that rather than completely distorting the world of Lyoko, the game was, well, put down. Number 56. However, there is a free multilingual game called IFSCL, made entirely by a single fan. Mimicking Jeremy's supercomputer, it allows the player to interact with Lyoko the way Jeremy did when he and the other Lyoko warriors battled against Xana. Sounds cool. Number 57. Before the 4th season aired, an official Code Lyoko magazine was released which contained comics about our heroes. Sadly, not enough sold, and after 3 editions, the issues were discontinued. Number 58. After season 4, the Italian publisher Atlantica released 4 books under the name Code Lyoko Chronicles, starting in 2009. Number 59. The books were written and released before the series Code Lyoko Evolution, and were intended to finish the series off and fill in the plot holes that the animation never had time to address. Number 60. Pretty strangely for a French TV show, the books were originally written in Italian. Eventually, the first 2 books were translated into French in 2010 and 2011. Number 61. While the books were never officially translated into English, and the last 2 were never even translated into French, fans took to the internet and provided their own translations for others to enjoy. Number 62. Fans of the show debate whether Code Lyoko Evolution or Code Lyoko Chronicles are the better capstone to the beloved adventure's journey. On the one hand, the novels stick closer to the canon of the show and actually give it like an end, which is something that Evolution does not do. On the other hand, Evolution can be watched. Primacy of the medium, I guess? Number 63. However, the novels do have some minor differences to the canon of the series. Most of these changes are just to make more economic storytelling, but the author also decided to change Aelita's hair from pink to red. Pretty funny to make a visual change in a medium where, you don't actually have to see the characters. Number 64. For a brief period during the writing process, William Dunbar was going to be named Orlando. The show's head writer, Sophie DeCressette, said this idea was pretty quickly abandoned. Number 65. Though it never came to pass, if the animation had progressed beyond season 4, the idea was to make William Dunbar a more direct villain and agent of Xana. The writers always considered him the darkest of the Lyoko warriors, but they never made him a complete villain. Looks like season 5 would have been his heel-face turn. Number 66. Even though her father Franz Hopper is Swiss, Sophie also said that Aelita was actually born in the United States. USA! Number 67. Though Code Lyoko was intended for an audience between the ages of 9 and 12, it is a whole host of older fans. The creators totally embrace this and attribute it to the cool cyberpunk universe the show inhabits. Number 68. When it came time to do Code Lyoko Evolution, 2 directors were used for the entirety of the show. This isn't unusual to have multiple directors in television, but their work was split down the middle for every episode. Lucio De Rosa did the live-action sequences, and Florian Ferrier did the 3D animated sequences. Number 69. According to Lucio De Rosa, the live-action director of Code Lyoko Evolution, each episode's live-action segments took about 2 days to shoot, with 26 episodes in the season, they shot for a total of 46 days, just with the live-action cast. Number 70. So as you can imagine, the live-action part of the show took a lot of prep work. 18 months were spent on it alone, with 1 year entirely spent in preparation. The live-action sequences had to be completely shot and edited before the animation process could take over. Number 71. In 2006, Cartes France released a Code Lyoko card game. It had 160 cards and was played in a similar fashion to Yu-Gi-Oh!, but was never exported to America. Sorry, guys. Number 72. America did get a bunch of Code Lyoko video games, though. Code Lyoko Quest for Infinity was released on the Nintendo Wii in 2007, with the PlayStation 2 and PSP version following the next year. Code Lyoko the game and Code Lyoko Fall of Xana were also released for the Nintendo DS in the same years. Number 73. Code Lyoko Quest for Infinity was set up like an action shooter, with players using the Wiimote to aim and shoot with the various heroes, while the DS games were much more like JRPGs, complete with turn-based battle modes and Final Fantasy-esque leveling systems. The Wii game also had the full English voice cast back reprising their roles. Sadly for handheld gamers, you had to read that adventure. Number 74. The Wii game allowed for players to jump into the shoes of Odd, Ulrich, Yumi, or Aelita, all of whom had their own abilities and played differently. Ulrich was close quarters combat, Odd and Yumi played medium to long range with shooting mechanics, and Aelita was purely defensive. Her special power? Levitate over holes. Number 75. If you were looking for collectibles more off the beaten path, there were also remote-controlled vehicles of Odd's overboard and Ulrich's overbike that you could pick up. They're not manufactured anymore, so they're probably pretty valuable collector's items. Number 76. Still not weird enough for you? Spain got an exclusive line of Code Lyoko figurines ranging up through season 4 of the show. They never got exported though, so be sure to look for them the next time you're just, I don't know, chilling in Madrid or something. You guys remember Spanish from high school, right? Number 77. One interesting thing about the production of Code Lyoko was that its creators really cared what the fans were talking about. After season 1 started getting some traction in France, the creative team actually started frequenting message boards to ask fans' opinions on what directions they'd like the show to go in. Number 78. Using a lot of this information, head writer Sophie de Cressette and series creator Jeremy Muscadet actually went back and changed the series Bible before starting production on season 2. This is a pretty bold move actually, because in television the series Bible is written before production and usually remains unchanged throughout the entire run. It's supposed to be like a guideline for writers to make the characters consistent, so altering it is a pretty big deal, and shows how much they really cared about making a good show that also pleased the fans. Number 79. Big changes from the fans that went into the new series Bible included making Xana's objective a lot clearer, fleshing out the story of Franz Hopper, and actually making Aelita a real human. She was originally imagined to just be an AI throughout the show. Number 80. Sophie de Cressette also wrote the series Bible for Code Lyoko Evolution, but left before production started. In a 2016 interview, she said, "I quickly saw that production wanted to be on a particular story level that didn't agree with my ideas on the series, so I quit production." Number 81. Another way fans influenced the series? Naming the group. People started calling the friends Lyoko Warriors online during season 1, and by the time season 3 rolled around, Jeremy and the gang had adopted the term themselves. Number 82. For a long time, fans have speculated over what the name of the main series villain Xana actually means. Is it a name? Is it a French acronym? Where did it come from and what does it mean? Turns out the lead writers don't know either. "When I got there," said Sophie de Cressette, "it was already named Xana. I don't know why. Perhaps it came from Xanadu." Number 83. Speaking of, remember how in Garage Kids the world of Lyoko was originally called Xanadu? Beyond being a mythical reference, this is also probably taken from anime serial Experiments Lane, as the show features a satellite named Xanadu which housed all the knowledge of humanity inside of it. Number 84. In several episodes of the series, it's revealed that William Dunbar is afraid of spiders. Funny enough, when he's possessed by Xana, he's often seen riding a tarantula. Guess that Xana possession also cures arachnophobia. Number 85. Yumi actually knows Morse code, which she uses to communicate with her brother to keep secrets from her parents. Man, I wish I'd thought of that when I was a kid. Number 86. Code Lyoko was, of course, originally broadcast in French. When it came time to dub the show into English, Moonscoop looked for native English speakers in France, leading to only about 7 people lending the voices of the entire English cast. This is probably one of the only instances in which you can get literally paid to talk to yourself for hours. Number 87. The actress who played the live-action Yumi in Code Lyoko Evolution is not actually Japanese. Melanie Tran is her name, and she is of Vietnamese ancestry. Number 88. It should be mentioned, however, that Melanie also practices gymnastics at a competitive level. Remind you of a certain Lioko warrior? Looks like the casting director did their homework after all. Number 89. In the episode Ultimatum, there's some graffiti in the warehouse that Yumi and Odd are being held in. If you look, you can see some that reads "Kilroy was here" in English. This is an odd, obscure reference to an ongoing graffiti joke that American soldiers scattered across Europe during World War II. Basically, it was a 1940s meme. "Kilroy was here" scrawlings are still being found across Western Europe to this day. Number 90. It's also worth mentioning that for a show rated TV Y7 in America, there were some scenes that were more risque than American audiences were probably used to. Panty shots, underwear scenes, and sexual innuendos were not uncommon in the show. This is partially because France is, well, less bugged by these things, and also because Moonscoop was in charge of the English localization as opposed to an external American company. Number 91. That being said, there were actually lines that Moonscoop wasn't willing to cross. Numerous scenes changed even after scripts had been locked, sometimes for violence, but mostly for being, well, a little too sexy. Number 92. Most of these too risque, most fanfic-inspiring scenes that were cut involve Odd. Two choice cuts: him exposing himself to Cece in Season 2, Episode 28, and him in Yumi's body kissing Ulrich to give him a taste of his crush. Both of these scenes were eventually self-censored by Moonscoop, understandably. Number 93. In France, it's a lot more common for fanfiction to be done on role-playing forums, as opposed to the more singular narrative style which is commonly associated with the term in America. There are many jeux de rôle forums still active for Code Lioco scattered across the internet en français. Vous lisez en français, oui? Number 94. There were actually a lot of changes that were dummied out as the scenes went along. In the original Garbage Kids short, for instance, the Lioco warriors kept their powers in the outside world. Number 95. Another change that was made? Ulrich almost had a Dragon Ball Z-styled sci-fi monocle. Moonscoop evidently wanted to keep things under 9,000 when it came to the actual show. Number 96. The name Aelita might actually be thanks to Russian sci-fi. There's a famous 1923 novel called Aelita or the Decline of Mars, in which the titular Martian princess falls in love with a Soviet cosmonaut. The name itself might actually be of Latvian origin, but it's the book that helped popularize it, and it's obvious that the Code Lioco team were fans of forward-looking science fiction. Number 97. According to a leaked 2011 PDF by Moonscoop, there were originally plans for another animated continuation after Season 4, which would have had the Lioco warriors now in high school. It was tentatively titled Code Lioco Reloaded, and eventually transformed into Code Lioco Evolution. Number 98. The leaked PDF contained future plotline ideas for all the characters. Where are they at now? Well, first and foremost, Yumi and Ulrich were officially dating. Take that, unresolved sexual tension. It's unrealized canon. That means it can't be denied. Number 99. Other cool bits of information include Jeremy now being a well-known hacker, Odd moving into the fine arts studies and maturing up a bit, and William Dunbar getting even more teen angst than before after being temporarily corrupted by Xana. Number 100. Another fun fact that I think you really deserve to know. In the PDF, you can clearly see that one of the images for high school William is just Justin Bieber with his face poorly obscured. I honestly cannot describe how happy this makes me. Number 101. Strangely, Cece originally had brown hair, not black. You can find concept art of her sporting a more auburn hairdo with that same characteristic Cece sass. Personally, I'm kind of surprised they changed it, because when I watched this show as a kid, I kept thinking she was Yumi's sister. Wonder what prompted the transition to black. Number 102. The last episode of Code Lioco Evolution aired on December 19th, 2011, giving the franchise about an 8-year run. Not too shabby for something that started as a student film. Number 103. The fan base for Code Lioco is still alive and well today. Cosplayers, Tumblr, and those aforementioned fan forums, they're all still floating about and are very vocal about wanting a reboot or proper continuation. Heck, they even sent us a ton of requests for this 107. So here we are. Number 104. One of the biggest anime influences on Code Lioco is the groundbreaking 1998 anime series Serial Experiments Lain. Lain is a much darker story, definitely not intended for children, which focuses on the difference between reality and the virtual world, and how interactions with virtual reality can influence our lives. The influence of Lain in particular can be seen visually, in the color palette and the design of the computers in Code Lioco. Heck, Jeremy's computer setup after a while is more or less Lane's room. Number 105. Another similarity between Lain and Code Lioco is the appearance of the Men in Black who pursue Aelita. In the other series, there are actually two, well, Men in Black suits who monitor and hunt the main character Lain. While in Lain they ultimately aren't there to capture her, their appearance is no less sinister or creepy. Number 106. Also, while we're at it, logos on computers are the same. Lane and Aelita are both a virtual presence that takes on a physical form eventually. Both series have overuse of mysterious acronyms to describe computer viruses and green glowy text and on and on and on. Let's just leave it at this. Code Lioco took a lot of influence from Lane, and the reason I'm telling you about it is if you were a fan of the show back in the day, Serial Experiments Lane is well worth checking out now that you're older. Go get lost in the wired, my friends. Don't feel bad if you have to look up explanations online afterwards. Number 107. So when you were watching Code Lioco on Cartoon Network, you might have been forgiven for thinking it was an American show, or maybe a Japanese one, or something. Probably not France. You know what's another anime-influenced show you probably weren't aware was secretly French? Totally Spies. No joke. And if you didn't watch it, honestly, you missed out. That show rocked. Well, that's about it for me and the Lioco Warriors. I'm Brendan, and thanks for watching 107 facts about Code Lioco. Who's your favorite character? Did we miss anything? What's up with France? Comment below and let us know, and don't forget to click the bell to become part of the notification squad. We got new videos dropping every day, so make sure to subscribe, because remember, Frederator loves you. Au revoir.